Hello everyone, and welcome to Everyday Real English. In this video, we'll focus on practicing speaking by repeating the stories. Start by listening to a sentence in the story, and then try repeating it during the pause. This method allows you to practice speaking at the same pace as a native speaker. While repeating the sentences, you'll also become familiar with the phrases that native speakers actually use. Let's get started.
All right, so my day typically starts off with my alarm just absolutely screaming at me around 7 a.m. I'm not exactly what you'd call a morning person, so it's a struggle every single time. Once I manage to drag myself out of bed, I grab a quick shower, which honestly does most of the work in waking me up.
I live off campus at this small apartment in Austin, Texas, right near the University of Texas campus. It's a pretty sweet spot with all the cafes and shops around. For breakfast, I usually just have some cereal or, if I'm feeling fancy, I'll make a smoothie with whatever fruit I've got lying around. I try to get to campus early, usually around 8:30, to beat the rush and snag a good parking spot. My first class isn't until 9, so I use that extra half hour to review my notes or catch up on some reading. It's a good, quiet time to get my head in the game before things kick off. My classes usually run till about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I'm majoring in environmental science, so there's a mix of lecture halls and lab sessions. The labs are the best part because they're hands-on and we get to work on some pretty cool projects. After classes, I usually hang out in the library or meet up with friends at the student center. We'll grab a coffee and just decompress for a bit. It's a nice break before hitting the books again. Around 5 or 6, I head back home and start thinking about dinner. Cooking isn't exactly my forte, but I manage. It's usually something quick like pasta or a stir-fry. Then, if it's not too crazy a week, I might go out for a run or hit a yoga class to clear my head. Evenings are for studying, mostly. I try to get in a couple of hours at least. But if there's something good on Netflix, or if my friends are hanging out somewhere, I might take a break and join them. It's all about that balance, right? I usually wind down for bed around midnight. Sometimes later if there's a big exam or a paper due. Then it's off to sleep, and the whole thing starts over the next day.
Hey everyone, Alex here. So you want to know what a day in my life looks like here in New York City? Well, let's dive right in. I live on the Lower East Side, small apartment, big dreams. You know how it is. Every morning starts with the hustle of the city as my backdrop. I skip the big chain coffee shops and head straight to this tiny spot on my block. They know me there, and they make the best bagel and schmear around. Seriously, it's a game changer. I'm usually at my desk by 9 a.m. I work in digital marketing, which means my days are packed with crafting emails, figuring out social media strategies, basically trying to catch lightning in a bottle. It's a mix of thrilling and exhausting. I'm constantly in meetings, some necessary, some definitely not. But hey, that's the grind, and honestly, it keeps things interesting. When lunch rolls around, I take my sacred break. There's this little sushi joint I hit up so often. I'm practically on a first-name basis with the chef. I swear, their sushi rolls are half the reason I'm still sane after a hectic morning. The afternoon is more of the same: emails, campaigns, brainstorming sessions. After work, I try to unwind. Maybe meet up with some friends for a drink, or just take a walk through the city. There's always something new to see or do here, and that never gets old. So that's a slice of my life in the big city. It's fast, it's busy, it's totally New York. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Catch you in the next story. And hey, thanks for listening.
Hey everyone, it's Emma. So I wanted to tell you about this super chill day I had over the weekend in Central Park. It's honestly my favorite spot in the whole city, especially when I just need to get away from, everything. It was one of those perfect New York autumn days, crisp air, a touch of sun, leaves all crunchy and colorful. I grabbed a latte from this cute little coffee shop on my way, which totally hit the spot. Once I got to the park, I found this nice, quiet place right by the pond. It's like a secret spot where not a lot of tourists go. So I'm just sitting there sipping my latte when this girl about my age sits next to me. She's got this sketchbook and starts drawing the skyline that you can see from the park. We got to talking, and turns out she's visiting from California. Her name's Lucy, and she's here on a school trip. We ended up chatting about everything: our favorite bands, what movies we liked, school, and even what it's like living in New York versus California. It was so cool to connect with someone totally new, especially someone from the other side of the country. We swapped Instagrams, promised to keep in touch, and honestly, it made my day. That's what I love about Central Park. You can go there to find peace, but sometimes you also find great conversations and new friends. Anyway, just thought I'd share this little story with you all. It's nice to remember that sometimes it's the simple days that make the best memories. Catch you later. Hey there, I'm Sarah, and I want to share with you what my busy morning looks like. It's a real whirlwind. Let me tell you. So my alarm goes off at 6 a.m. sharp, and honestly, there's no snooze button on days like this. First thing, it's coffee. I need a good strong cup to get the gears turning, you know. While the coffee's brewing, I'm making breakfast for the kids. Pancakes are a big hit. But on days we're all rushed, it's cereal and fruit on the table. Then it's go time. My 3 munchkins, Tommy, Lily, and Sam, are up and about, and it's a race against the clock. Tommy needs help finding his soccer shoes. Lily's decided she wants to wear her princess costume to school. And Sam, well, he's just trying to sneak cookies into his lunchbox. It's like managing a little circus. After herding everyone to the breakfast table and making sure they eat something, I'm on to lunches. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches can't go wrong there. Plus some veggies and a little note in each box. Because a little I love you goes a long way. By the time I've gotten everyone dressed, brushed teeth, reviewed the day's schedule with each kid, and found that missing soccer shoe under the couch, it's time to drop them off at school. The drive there is my little breather, just me and my podcast. Dropping them off, you'd think I'd head straight home to relax, right? Nope, it's off to the grocery store because we're out of, well, everything. By the time I get back, it's almost time to start planning for dinner. So that's a peek into my morning. It's chaotic, loud, and non-stop. But honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. All right, I've got to run. Groceries won't buy themselves. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.